Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Leslie Williams, and I'm in San Diego, California. And today's date is February 15th, 2015. And what I'm doing right now, this is an update video. I'm also tape recording my statements on a running recording tape recorder as I speak. Now, the reason why I'm making this video applies for the next 30 calendar days. That means every single minute of every single hour of every single day for the next 30 days. Today's date is February 14th, 2015. I live in La Jolla, San Diego County, California. I am a target, victim, and activist concerned in the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Now, I just got to moving from an area within the location that goes by a coded abbreviation that accurately describes the geographical location pertaining to where I'm staying. I created this coded abbreviation for legal, strategic, and security purposes as a result of being an organized stalking, gang stalking target. Whenever I make my videos and I discuss and I state this coded abbreviation, my viewers and even first-time viewers will not and anybody else who watches my video, well, basically what I'm saying is that nobody will be able to understand what the geographical location is pertaining to the abbreviated code, because that is the purpose of the abbreviated code. Sorry, I just woke up about an hour ago, but bear with me for a second. Now, the geographical location that I am currently staying at goes by the abbreviated code RR Colony 5. This area that I just moved to 4 nights ago, okay, last night being the 4th night, it's either the 4th or the 3rd, it goes by the abbreviated code RR Colony 5-1. Now, what I'm doing is, as a result of being a victim of gang stalking, I have literally been made homeless by the gang stalking perpetrators of me in another state. And I got so tired of having to move from apartment to apartment to motel room, which you go through thousands of dollars doing that. I thought to myself, why continue to keep renting apartments and motel rooms when I'm just going to lose them because of the gang stalking? So you can go to Google and type in gang stalking creating homelessness of targets, gang stalking targeting individuals to apartment buildings, to motel rooms. Okay, and you can Google these in separate searches, like apartments being one to gang stalking, motels another one to gang stalking. Excuse me. And you will be able to see that I am literally telling you the truth. Also, go to Google and type in gang stalking creating homelessness of targets. In fact, when you type that in at Google, you're literally going to be able to witness that creating the homelessness of targets is one of the main methodologies that they perpetrate against the organized stalking, gang stalking target. The homelessness is created in order to exploit the homelessness to exploit the target. Now, go to Google and type in learning disabled woman exposes criminal motivations of gang stalking. Every time I start describing something that says learning disabled woman, that means that every time I say learning disabled woman, it's a new description. In other words, if I say go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes criminal motivations of gang stalking at YouTube and Google, that is one description for you to type in. Then if I say go to YouTube, and then if I say learning disabled woman exposes methods and tactics of gang stalking, that's a separate search. Okay, learning disabled woman catches gang stalking. Learning disabled woman. Hang on a second. Learning disabled woman exposes flat-out evidence of gang stalking. You can also go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking? Now that blog has been hacked, okay, by the perpetrators, and they keep copying and pasting information in it. I got sick of erasing it because they just repasted in it, so I just leave it in there. Now, organized stalking, gang stalking target individuals. One target can be picked for multiple different criminal motivations because gang stalking is nothing but a mutual for-profit organization. It's a syndicate. In the system, at the federal, state, and local level, it's even got some military attachments to it. It can. And the syndicate that's in the system has tentacles out within the community in reference to other employment descriptions, white and blue collar workers. Okay, the business community is also involved in organized stalking and gang stalking, and a person can even be gang stalked at their own at work, okay, by fellow employees, management, and even security. Usually, though, when it's happening to an employee at work, it's called work mobbing. So, just, if you need to re-listen to this video in order to be able to write down each description so you can then research each description and then cross-reference the material that comes up in order to be able to synthesize it to create a holistic pictorial representation, that is the best way to do it. Because organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions is a, but not limited to, a very intrusive crime. Gang stalking is not stalking by gangs at all. In fact, when a person hears the word gang stalking, especially if they've never heard of it before, will automatically, instinctively, because of the word gang and then stalking, they'll probably reflexively think that it's a gang involved in crimes of a victim using stalking. It's not. Okay, it's just a name that it was actually created by the perpetrators in order to mislead the public, to spread misinformation and disinformation about this crime, and to confuse target individuals concerning it. So, let me get to the meat and potatoes pertaining to why I'm making this particular video. I got sick of going through thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just moving. I went through additional thousands of dollars surviving this crime and additional thousands of dollars exposing it. Well, the exposing has been kind of like in the midst of it all, okay? I have literally been suffering this open criminal reality in reference to, because you can be a gang stalking target for even decades without you even knowing that you're a victim. Because if the open harassment is not happening to you, okay, you just think that you're a victim of bad luck, bad circumstances, bad relationships, bad luck. But once the open organized harassment starts towards you, okay, in other words, I believe it was in the year between 2000 and 2003 is when they started the open. I got to go back into my timeline because it's been going on now for so long. I'm literally right now having a hard time remembering the exact year it started. So just bear with me. As a result of being a victim of this crime and suffering the extreme felonious behaviors that have happened to me and literally every aspect of my life, because organized stalking, gang stalking literally attacks every aspect of your life. Employment, if you're able to work, I'm disabled, even though they're reviewing me right now through Social Security Disability, and pretty soon I'll be reviewed again through Social Services, and there's an extreme likelihood that I'm going to be taken off both using either and or, but not limited to, mail theft and mail delayment. It's how they stole my rent and created the homelessness. Yeah, they literally stole my rent out of the mail that was mailed, certified mail return receipt through the United States Postal Service, and that is the current mail service that I'm using right now pertaining to mail being delivered through to my post office box. Social Security, Social Services. So, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, even if I had a P.O. box through a private mail service like UPS or any other private mail service, they would still attack the mail because the mail goes through USPS. Now, fellow American citizens, fellow San Diegans, what I did and what I am doing in reference to surviving this crime and exposing it is I have developed my own strategies based on experience, being a victim of this crime, and educated knowledge in reference to the information that I have ascertained from the internet pertaining to what is factually happening to my fellow target individuals. And if 131 Kimber, who's a fellow target, is listening or watching my videos, I love you. Stay safe. And that also definitely includes to every other single target individual who is watching any of my videos. I want you to know I care about you. Words can't describe how much I care about what's happening to you. Stay safe, stay strong. Don't let these filthy, wild, criminal, whore, rat-ass animals provoke you, because that's what they intend to do, to provoke you, to arrest you, and to even institutionalize you. Don't let them provoke you. Okay? Now, that's one of the reasons why they actually will take a psychological profile of a target, so they can know how to push a target's buttons by using, but not limited to, go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger" to see how easy it is to dupe anybody in the community to do things towards a target based on lies, a badge, slander, you name it. And that video is only a preliminary introduction in reference to just one of the techniques. Organized stalking, gang stalking expedition they use so many different techniques against the target individual. It would probably take at least 3 hours to introduce and somewhat talk about each one, at least. Okay, getting back to the particular reason why I made this video. What I did in response to them gang stalking me to over 6 different hiking areas is I decided to buy this tent right here. And you can see how low it is. Let me stand up for a minute. If anybody approaches me here while I'm making this video, or if anybody approaches me after the video is completed by them saying we heard you or saw you, it'll be gang stalking no matter who they use. Now, let's just take a look at this tent. Okay, this tent is exactly 2 feet 8 inches high, 2 feet 4 inches in width, and 8 feet long. It's literally just big enough for you to put your sleeping bags in, a pillow, a backpack, and maybe a carry-all. Okay, and then maybe like a bag of food. It's literally that small. But the reason why I made it is because this tent can be carried in my backpack. Sorry about the sun. This tent can be carried in my backpack. Now at night, I put black weatherization sheets on it, which you can see right now. I got to get ready to take this tent down actually, because the purpose and the reason why, one of the main reasons why I bought this tent is because so it can be taken down every morning, put up right before dark. See, the property, stay with me, you'll understand in a second. Ouch. The property where I am hiking at, there should be nobody here at all on this property at all before dawn and after dark because of the type of property that it is. Okay, so my goal is to go to bed no later than 10 o'clock, wake up by 4:30, 5 o'clock, get dressed, get dressed and get outside of the tent right at dawn or right before dawn, okay, and then take the tent down really fast. Okay, now I've discovered as a result because this is only the 4th morning that I've been using this tent since I bought it a month ago. Now, anybody that camps knows that you get extreme condensation inside the tent. Hold on a second. Anyways, sorry about that. I know you don't understand, but just bear with me. Now, whenever you're camping in a tent, hikers and backpackers know that a tent will get condensation in it. So, the only way that I can see, because when I come home at night as a result of being out all day, sometimes I get home just in enough time to put this tent up, and I don't want to make noise wiping it down in a hurry. So what I noticed that I got to start doing is that when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna have to literally wipe it down from the inside, because it's got a net that you can unzip and then you can wipe it down, wipe the sides down, wipe the back down, and then so that's what I'll do when I first wake up. And then after I get outside the tent, I just take I do what I got to do to take it down, okay, and then I fold this up very quietly. I'm engaging in what is known as stealth camping. Okay, now, and then I take this off it, take the tent down, fold it up, put it in my backpack, and then hide this. Now, just stay with me, you'll understand the complete subject matter of this video as I continue to speak. Now, the reason why I'm making this video pertaining to talking to you about this camping situation is because as a result of the police being involved in gang stalking, remember how I said that the criminal motivations, I explained to you, you can go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Criminal Motivations of Gang Stalking, and you will also be able to witness other statements concerning the criminal motivations of gang stalking by going to YouTube and typing in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Methods and Tactics of Gang Stalking. Learning Disabled Woman Exposes being gang stalked at hiking area. Because in a lot of those videos I also talked about the criminal motivations that are behind why the homelessness was created and what they have in store for the targeted individual, including me, syndicated probate control, for, but not limited to, applying for federal and state funds in the target's name once they're put in a syndicated run organized crime group home that's literally owned and operated by the individuals that are directly connected to the gang stalking perpetrators. Insurance fraud and human trafficking inside the group home that they are literally trapped in, and the gang stalking continues in these homes. So the insurance fraud can be continued, so the human trafficking can happen practically on every basis by drugging the target's food. Go to YouTube right now and type in "stalked in San Antonio." You'll literally see 2 women who were raped in their own homes as a result of being gang stalked. Absolutely. Now, so if you watch these YouTube videos, you'll be able to see me giving you a full explanation concerning why they're doing this to me. That way I don't have to talk all about it right now. So what I decided to do, now also go to Google and type in gang stalking in police, gang stalking in district attorney's offices, gang stalking in prosecutors, gang stalking in judges, gang stalking in doctors, gang stalking in social services workers, gang stalking in social security. Okay, gang stalking in homeless shelters, gang stalking in charities, gang stalking in churches. Do what I tell you to do, and you will come to understand what a target individual is up against in reference to being a victim of this crime, trying to survive it, and if they have the money and the opportunity to expose it. And they are going to target my finances, make no mistake about it. Now, I'm just going to give a sidebar notation here. I was coerced to take out some school loans by the individuals who had infiltrated my life in Michigan before they started the open gang stalking. Okay, they infiltrated my life through a self-help group that they duped me into believing I needed to go to. Okay, and they coerced me to take out these school loans. Okay, and then 3 days before the school loans came out, they created events to mentally provoke me to not want to have anything to do with them anymore by engaging in extremely rude behavior, mean behavior, abusive behavior. And anybody knows the psychological conclusions that any human being will have in reference to somebody abusing them is to just basically leave them, which is a healthy response. And if you go to Google right now and type in gang stalking psychological operations, you will see that a huge aspect of gang stalking is about psychological operations, steering your thinking, psychic driving, steering your thinking to make a decision so they can isolate you. If they infiltrate your life using friendly and normal appearing environments, okay, pretend to be your friends, and then suck you into only depending on them, you're not developing any relationships with anybody else, on top of keeping you intentionally occupied with them and their bullshit. As a result, over the years, they're your circle of friends. That's why they do it. And if you don't think that they're not engaging in infiltration of your friends, to be your friends, go to Google right now and type in gang stalking and intimate infiltration. If they'll go as far as putting a man in a woman's life or putting a woman in a man's life, okay, to get them intimately involved with the target, okay, do you honestly think that they will not infiltrate your life to be friends? Think again. So the school loans were basically taken out for eventual debt bondage for human trafficking. Now the FBI's website literally talks about when it comes to, on their website, they have information dedicated to human trafficking. Debt bondage is one of the things that perpetrators of human trafficking do to a target. They get them in debt, and then they know that the debt's got to be paid off, especially school loans, because you can go to prison for it. Now I told the Department of Education about how I was even gang stalked at the school where the school loans were coerced for me to take out. I talked to them, I sent them information through their website, emails, and phone calls. They didn't do a damn thing about it. And they said the only way that they will begin to investigate it if the police make a police report concerning me being gang stalked. And I have requested through the San Diego Police Department on at least anywhere between 19 and 26 separate occasions to make a police report pertaining to me being gang stalked, and they told me no to my face each and every time, and even threatened being with a psychiatrist once, which they're actually even doing right now to Bonnie in Oceanside. Go to YouTube and type in Bonnie, Oceanside, California gang stalking, and Oceanside is in San Diego County. Now, Marash Shahan, Victoria Rose, Beth Donahue, Brian Tu, Sylvia L. Morales. I haven't seen any new updated information pertaining to Sylvia L. Morales or Marash Shahan in almost a year and a half. So there's an extreme probability that they've gotten a hold of them too. And also Erica Dean Gilmore. Gang stalking is going on in California like you would not believe. Go to YouTube and type in gang stalking, bullying on steroids. Gang stalking's been covered on national radio shows, national TV shows, and local news broadcasts. This is a crime that is realized by the public, but I guarantee you right now, fellow American citizens, fellow San Diegans, fellow La Jollans, and fellow Californians, that this is literally organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level. They are a syndicate, which means they are using their employment descriptions while they are punched in on the clock, being paid for by property taxes, income taxes, sales taxes, your money. They're literally using your money and their employment descriptions to achieve their objectives. So, if I can't get a police report filed, then that gives the Department of Education a normal apparent legal excuse not to investigate my claims. Hold on. Okay, so the reason why I bought this tent is because this tent can be taken down like that. I've already even timed it on my watch, how long it takes to put it up, take it down. At the very most, a half hour. And that means when I'm having maybe problems putting a stake inside the ground, because some of the areas where I've been hiking at is under bedrock, which means there's rocks inside like here's one right here, rocks inside the dirt. As a result, the tent stake can get put down into the dirt deep enough for it to anchor the tent. So at the very most, it takes a half hour once the sleeping bags and everything are out of it. Now, as a result of me moving to this spot from another area that I originally moved to when I left the last camping area, okay, I'm no longer at that area, even though some things have been left behind that I got to go get. Some old used weatherization sheets, like the ones that are on top, the ones that are on this one. They've been folded and put behind a bush, and then some property of mine, like clothes and some backup camping support material that is completely hidden, and sleeping bags that is completely hidden and camouflaged and put out of sight. Backup gear. Now, what I'm going to be doing at this camping area is I'm going to be basically going to bed early at night, waking up early in the morning, okay, and then taking the tent down and getting dressed and everything. That way, see, because what they're doing, let me light this cigarette. Now, one of the main methodologies in gang stalking is to use the target's own cell phone as a GPS tracker. Hold on a minute. I gotta do something. Hold on just 1 second. Bear with me. You'll understand what I'm doing in a second. Hold on. If anybody approaches this area, if anybody approaches me or this area is why I'm here, it'll be directly connected to gang stalking. I hear something. Hold on. get up to investigate it. This is how I gotta live. Hold on a second. There's where I got my bike locked up at. So let's see if any of these criminal animals show up to bait me to walk over there. Okay, so an incident can occur. That way they can say, she came up from over here, she's thinking of stealing her bike or whatever. They flattened the tires 4 days after I bought it. This stuff usually is in here. Alright. I apologize the video got disrupted like this. What I was initially doing was getting out my phone so I can play some audio proof showing you that I'm being gang stalked. So we're gonna see if anybody comes to this area over this weekend. That includes landscape workers, RP workers, volunteers for RP personnel, neighbors, homeless men, especially homeless men. Now, there's a bunch of different kinds of schemes that these little filthy red-ass animals engage in order to make it appear they got a normal appearing reason to know where you're at, because the police reports are needed for the syndicated probate control. They try to claim that you can't take care of yourself because you're homeless while they claim you're mentally ill because you think you're being gang stalked. Now, I want you to listen to this. That what you just heard right here were two men, okay, that approached me on a sidewalk right up the street from my last hiking area. They both said gang stalk together, then one said gang stalking, and then that same one said gang stalking, I'll fuck you up. Okay, now that happened 7 days after I told a UCSD police officer that individuals are getting along all my routes on UCSD campus and repeating gang stalk, oh my god. Gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk weird, gang stalk crazy. You can go to Exposing Truth Instagram account and you should be able to witness some of my videos. Now this right here is a copy of an audio file of me being on a Yucca Valley bus in Yucca Valley, California. Do you hear these individuals say gang stalk, oh my god, and then a woman just let us says gang stalking. Listen.
I'm gonna go hang it up and get my is there any property? I'm gonna take my American flag out
Okay, I'm gonna play this one again, listen.
I'm gonna go hang it up and get my is there any property? I'm gonna take my American flag out
Now, Yucca Valley is 170 miles away from where the Thanksgiving event occurred at. Getting along all my routes and repeating gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk weird, gang stalk crazy, is there a way to intentionally remind me that I'm being gang stalked? Hold on a second. Okay, because they gotta know where I'm at and who I am to do it. Now, The only reason why all this stuff that you just seen as a result of me getting back up and forth, the only reason why this stuff is out here right now is because I literally just moved from the area I was at to this one. Now, in organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions, what I did was I took a video picture of this tent, this brand new tent. I took a video picture of the box of the tent that showed a picture of the tent on the box, so I could show my viewers on Twitter how I'm going to start camping in order to take away their opportunities to act like they're stumbling across me at my hiking area. That's why I bought this real little one. Take it down real early in the morning, put it up right before dark, and since I'm on a property to where nobody should be on this property before 8 o'clock and after dark, what other excuses are they going to use to pretend like they know I'm here? Now, are they going to try and bring somebody in my physical presence, okay, before I can get this area situated? See, because when I moved here 3 days ago, okay, I also had to move property here, clothes, some support materials, and I'm also having to look for spots to hide my sleeping bags and shit. They know this because when I took a video picture of the new tent, I then posted it on Instagram, put a description in the Instagram video showing why I'm posting this, and then put it on Twitter. They're sending me text messages regurgitating what I did on Twitter, so they know how I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna be doing and why. As a result of me now beginning to camp this way, what I'm doing is tightening the noose on their available, normal appearing excuses to bring people to where I'm camping at. Because when they stage an event, like bringing homeless men up in here to camp close by me, which is what they did at my last hiking area, they harassed me day and night, every day from November 2012 up until April 2014. One of the men that played a role in this Thanksgiving event, okay, was one of the men that harassed me day and night at that area. And that event happened on Thanksgiving Day 2013, 7 days before I told a UCSD campus safety officer how I was being harassed on their campus in the same exact way I was being harassed at that camping area. Now, staging events and gang stalking expeditions are called street theaters. And when they stage an event, they will also stage the witnesses. They'll use homeless men, neighbors, RP workers, volunteers for RP, which I know you don't understand because I gotta code it in order to hide the actual area that I'm staying at. But as a result of me, they'll use anybody, kids, teenagers, couples, individuals acting like they're in the area because of the type of area that it is. They then act like they're stumbling across me, and then what they'll do is call the police, because the police have to have a normal appearing reason to know why I'm here. They need the police reports and the incident reports to take the syndicated probate control for exploitation, the reason why they create the homelessness. Organized crime in the system. Illegal syndicated probate control is one of the main criminal motivations of gang stalking. They're targeting the elderly, single women, single mothers, single fathers, people on disability, veterans. You would not believe what I know. You just would not believe it. Now, they also know that I'm exposing their criminal asses on the internet because cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. If you go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying... If you go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids, you'll clearly see that a police officer stating a police officer from Santa Cruz, Lieutenant Larry Richards, is flat out saying that gang stalking's been going on forever and that it's even reached out into the cyber world. So if I'm all over the internet exposing San Diego Police Department, San Diego Sheriff's Department, UCSD, SDSU, USD, multiple businesses have been gang stalked at, MTS, I've been assaulted 5 times. 5 times as a result of being a victim of this crime. 5 times. 1 time in the San Diego courthouse. Hold on. So they believe, see, if you went to Google and YouTube and typed in cell phone tracking and gang stalking, is this how they know where I'm at and how long I'm at each spot? As a result, they're able to say, okay, we know where she's at. All you gotta do is walk up to her, act like you're stumbling across her, and then call the police. Walk up to her and assault her, or prop up homeless men to camp out close by me in order to psychologically motivate me to move in order to prevent altercations, assaults, and theft of property. Now, doing a method like that is called psychic driving, where they will do something to psychologically motivate you to do something that will benefit them, including doing this enough times to where I gotta move to a location that has no neighbors that can hear me scream, even though neighbors can participate in gang stalking. Whether they know what they're doing is gang stalking or not, because a lot of neighbors and individuals that are using the community are lied to about the target. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." I'm in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. Understand, fellow American citizens, I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I'm not mentally ill, and I'm not a threat to myself or others. But now, and I made those statements because these are the kinds of labels that they attempt to put on gang stalking targets. They will also try to provoke a target to act out so they can arrest them and take syndicated probate control by claiming that they're a threat to themselves or others. These are the schemes of gang stalking. And by the way, go to Google and type in fire departments in gang stalking, fire department and EMS in gang stalking, and police in gang stalking. In fact, yesterday morning, I've been exposing the fire department in gang stalking ever since I've been exposing this crime online. Okay, and yesterday morning on KOGO radio station, San Diego, they did a news broadcast. Hold on. About an ambulance service that was caught in Medicare fraud. Now, remember how I talked about insurance fraud? Doctors, nurses in hospitals, psychiatrists, including psychiatrists and doctors and nurses on psychiatric floors in hospitals, and ambulance services. Medicare fraud. Do you understand? So, now here's going to be a real kicker for you to understand. Go to Google. Remember how I said that this crime is intrusive? Go to Google right now and type in non-consensual human experimentation and gang stalking. Just do it. Just do it. Instead of saying, "This sounds too crazy," just do it, and you'll see that it's all over the internet. Now, at the beginning of this video, in closing, I stated that one target can be picked for multiple different types of crimes because the syndicate that's responsible for these crimes is a mutual for-profit organization. Which means that mutual different criminal organized crime groups can participate in the crimes that are happening to a target because each part of the organized crime groups makes money off the targets. Doctors, lawyers, judges, prosecutors, even members of the DA's office, police officers, because the insurance fraud alone can produce hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. One person. The research that comes from the non-consensual human experimentation, which can also have military attached to it, the technology that can be used against the gang stalking target was developed by the military. That's right. Including retired military personnel that worked in specific employment descriptions when they were in the military that was directly connected to the technologies. You know, my name is Leslie Williams. What I do is expose what's happening, what is happening and what can happen to a gang stalking target, to educate the public at large, to educate target individuals who might not have a full understanding yet of what's happening to them, so they can make informed decisions to protect themselves, their loved ones, their friends, and their community, so they can know the truth. See, I gotta live this way because of what I'm experiencing. By you seeing me and what I'm living through, you can then see what's happening to people who can't afford a video camera, a tape recorder, a phone. And you know what they're also doing? Staging events at libraries and public libraries and university libraries, and then using these events and complaints as normal appearing reasons to ban me, so they can take away my internet resource that I'm using to expose them. UCSD, SDSU, San Diego Public Libraries. So, fellow American citizens, it's going to take me at least 5 days for me to situate this area in a way to where when I wake up in the morning, I can put the sleeping bags and the pajamas inside of 55-gallon industrial-sized black garbage bags, and then hide them in an area to where, see, because once I get up and then bag up my shit and then, excuse my language, and then hide it and then leave for the day, like to go to the grocery store, to the bank or whatever, or the post office, wherever I might have to go, when I come back, they can prop up homeless people to camp here, which will then mentally provoke me to not stay here. So then if that happens, I gotta be able to pick up my stuff and take it with me. If I leave it right at the very spot that I'm camping at, they can come here and pitch up a tent, and then if I approach my stuff to pick it up, they can, because when they prop up people to camp close by me or even come and take my spot, I'm talking about lowlifes, men, big men. I've been attacked by men that are 6 foot 2 inches tall, who act violent, who act hyper, who act crazy. Now, do you really think that a 5 foot 5 inch woman is going to want to approach 2 or 3 men who are acting like they're drunk or on drugs or acting wild and crazy to get their property? No. Which means that I got to create areas to hide my property to where if I come home and they're at the spot where I've been camping at, I can't hide the property at that spot. It's got to be hidden in places where I can just say, okay, I see them, actually just leave, and then maybe wait and come back and get it later. That's why I got a backup kit that's got sleeping bags and pajamas in it. Do you see how I gotta live? I expose this, okay? Now, in order for you to see that this is factually happening to me, which I played you 2 audio files of 800 audio files I got, of the same exact identical verbal harassment happening around me every day, everywhere I go. I'm being gang stalked like you would not believe by Rouse employees, management, and the security guards over at La Jolla Village Square. That's right, in La Jolla. And I'm exposing it right now. And they're gonna eventually take away my ability to use my computer at the areas where you sit down and have lunch at by stopping people's ability to use the computers there, stopping electricity going into the outlets, or staging an event. Because in Gang Stalking Expedition, what they do is intentionally steer you to other locations, okay? Like if I'm being banned from libraries, university libraries, public libraries, I gotta go somewhere to use my own Wi-Fi. They're gonna target my computer and make it inoperable. Go to YouTube and Google and type in gang stalking, how they hack into our computers, reroute emails, hack into our phones, reroute phone calls, make our computers inoperable. Just Google it and YouTube it. I guarantee you, every single thing I described in this video, hold on. If you Google it and YouTube it, you'll see I'm telling you the truth. The literal truth. Literally. So, their whole goal, okay, is to go after what's left, is to go after my finances, go after me where I'm camping at, and finances include Social Security and Social Services, and they're going to probably use mail theft and mail delayment, arrest, because if I'm in jail for illegal lodging, camping, how am I going to be attentive to my Social Security review or my Social Services review? And they can steal my money, all my identification, my evidence, my camera, my phone, the camera I'm making this video in, that's right, and bus card, Social Security card, Medicare card, and then when I'm released, I had nothing to fall back on. Okay, now, fellow American citizens, if you don't believe this is not happening, if a targeted individual is arrested, they're even gang stalked in jail. If they're put on a psychiatric floor, they're literally gang stalked for the entire time they're on that psychiatric floor. Literally, Google it, and you'll see I'm telling the truth. So all they gotta do is act like somebody's stumbling across me here at this area as a result of somebody going for a walk, or their dog getting away from them, and then they go look for their dog and then they find me. A homeless person acting like they're looking for a place to hike out at. A neighbor who says they heard me or saw me. An RP worker. These filthy whores will even use utility company personnel or our employees, which I know you don't understand. I'm coding that for security purposes. The point being is, this is a prediction video. If I am arrested in the next 60 days at any area, hiking areas, or anywhere out and about in the community, if they steal my bike or damage it, or use the bike as a normal appearing reason to scope the area, the bike's right now, the bike is locked up about 150 feet away. Okay? They've already targeted it by flattening the tires. Brand new bike. okay? If I come down in this area and anything has been removed, okay, it'll be gang stalking. If any homeless men and or women are propped up here, it'll be gang stalking. And if anything happens, if I'm assaulted, arrested, given an illegal lodging ticket, it'll be directly connected to this organized stalking, gang stalking expedition. Ladies and gentlemen, I played you those 2 audio files. Me being gang stalked in Yucca Valley when I went out there for a week to try and connect with a targeted individual. Yucca Valley is 160 miles away from where the Thanksgiving event happened at, right up the street from UCSD. And the individual that I went to go see in Yucca Valley, a fellow targeted individual, David Larson, who's being gang stalked, and you can Google him. I looked up his address and all transportation routes getting from La Jolla to Yucca Valley at UCSD Biomedical Library on their computers, and at SDSU on their computers in their Love Library. Cyber surveillance. They just ascertained what I was preparing to do and set up their harassment for me to experience once I got out there. Same exact identical verbal harassment. 900 audio files of the same exact identical verbal harassment. Tape recorders don't lie, and they don't have the ability to have a mental illness. So follow all the instructions that I made in this video that pertains to, like, the blog title, the YouTube titles, okay? And you'll see that this is really happening to me, and you'll be able to see who's involved, who protects it, and what I'm experiencing. This is a video prediction and applies for the next 60 days, including today. And they'll use any fucking excuse that they will use. Somebody saw me. Somebody saw, like the landscape I'm in right now. It's basically brown, green, black blends in well. They can say that they saw something like they can say that this was seen, you know, like a different color that stands out from the landscape. As a result, they decided to investigate what's going on, who might be up in here. They will use anybody and any excuse. These criminal whores will literally use children to be a buffer between the target and the police. All they got to do is say, I saw her, I heard her. The police are called, boom. The police now have a normal appearing reason to know where I'm at. They come and arrest me. And if I'm put in jail, how am I supposed to be physically attended to my Social Security review or my Social Services review? As a result, I lose my benefits. Destitution is the destitution is then more enhanced, which means that if they target the money, how are you going to survive? If they target the food stamps, how are you going to eat? They then start going after the property, the shelters, the clothes, in order to steer you to places that they can really, okay, do things at. Homeless shelters, charities, churches. Do you see how I'm living? Please say a prayer for my safety. I do what I do to inform, to expose the truth concerning these factual realities. When you have indisputable audio evidence and you are trying to show it to a police officer, in fact, you even are showing it to a police officer. This Thanksgiving event, I played to 6 different police officers. All of them claimed they couldn't hear it. Total bullshit. The San Diego Police Department, the San Diego Sheriff's Department, and the San Diego Fire Department are directly connected to the gang stalking of me and multiple other targeted individuals in the county of San Diego. I expose the truth so the truth can be known, so if anything happens to me, you will know who was involved. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.